right, we're on recording.
Okay, I'm calling this meeting to order of the Major Crash Review Task Force. We're meeting at 3 p.m. approximately on Wednesday, March 27th, 2019 at the District Department of Transportation on the 4th floor of 55 M Street Southeast. Reviewing the sign-in sheet, we don't yet have a quorum. We're hoping a member from the Multimodal Accessory Advisory Council joins us to get us to our 4 out of 6 voting agencies for a quorum. The minutes from February's meeting were circulated, and I think everyone's reviewed them, but we can't approve them yet without a quorum, so we'll skip that. And then we do have, on our agenda, we have new voting members to vote on and approve, both from DDOT, since we don't have official voting members for DDOT right now, but we can't vote on that yet either. So for now, we also won't move into a closed session to review new crash cases, but what we can look at is the very close to final 2018 report. There's just a few pieces of information that hopefully we could run through really quick. They're mostly in the appendices where we have the detailed summaries of crashes, and that way we can confirm those last pieces of data. The next step would be circulating this essentially final draft around to agency directors and folks like that to see if they would like to review it before it's published, and then we can publish it. Which, you know, we present it to the mayor and council as the legislation requires. So, Terry, I'm going to put you guys on the spot, I think.
That said, these will be next times because we can't.
Yeah, unless Helen joins us, then we can't.
Right.
Or unless David
David
shows up. But he said he was.
All right.
This one is this crash, January 11th on New York Ave. And the thing, we wanted to just confirm that speed was a contributing factor.
Absolutely, speed was a contributing factor.
Excellent. This one, I don't know if you'll remember, I asked Bridget at MPD about if the driver's license was valid. Is this the one where the pedestrian was struck?
This is the one where, yeah, he was hit by the Ford Expedition driver. He was standing behind his car, and the driver was charged, I think, and convicted. Well, no, he pled that they did a plea bargain. And I didn't have in my notes. There was impairment, but I didn't have in my notes what kind of impairment it was.
Do we got a location of this?
It's Eastern.
Is this
Yeah.
Eastern?
Eastern.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eastern Avenue, Tiller,
He was on there.
Okay, so that was, everybody had a driver's license. Yeah, he was in the rear of the car. But he did not have a driver's license issue, an extreme impairment issue.
And what type? Alcohol or another type?
Yeah, it was alcohol.
Okay.
He
Do you remember?
he was
Remember what the
older
VAC
guy.
was?
I think he said, like, well, I guess it does say VA, but he was, I don't remember what the VAC was, and it is based off of, like in my head right now, he wouldn't blow, because he knew it. He was the one that got out and was just dropped his head and was like, I'm wrong here. And then when they asked him to participate in the investigation through that means, he refused. But he knew I'm wrong. But he just veered completely off the street. Like he veered out of his travel lane directly to the rear of the parked vehicle that the guy just got out and was walking behind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure he was at the trunk. I think he just chose to walk around that direction.
So,
Because he was right in front
no,
of
I
us.
thought my memory is that somebody, one of you guys, either you guys or the detective, told us he was getting a jacket out of the trunk.
I thought he was
He might be.
something from the trunk.
I remember he
Just
went
removed
from the
something
rear.
trunk.
He had food or something in the thing, and he went to the rear of the vehicle when it was struck. I'm just picturing the crash because the crash was so hard into the trunk. I'm not picturing whether
But the driver that hit him, he refused the test the breathalyzer test, so we don't know what the BA says.
No, the evidence is just based off of visual evidence of his impairment.
Okay, so we.
But he never, I don't think he ever argued the impairment. Like, he just never gave
No,
us.
it's just getting the facts right.
And I think that there was a bottle or something with this drink.
I think there was.
There was evidence of the drink in the vehicle.
There's enough circumstantial evidence and the officer's observations to say that.
And he never.
impaired.
Right.
So we wanna say something like the driver refused to participate in a breathalyzer, but officer observation, and this is what Jonathan's typing. And
Yeah, just breath
circumstantial
evidence.
revealed impairment.
Yeah, the driver refused to participate in breath evidence.
Oh. Failed to, refused to provide. rather.
There you go.
And then get rid of the next sentence.
Have you talked to Mr. Towson?
Townsend? Yeah, I haven't talked to him, but I.
Once you do participate in this
I know.
texting thing.
Yeah, I told him I told him I would come, and I agreed to talk to him on Thursday.
He seems to think that you are going to provide a District of Columbia.
I told him I couldn't.
Right. I'm just letting you know what he told me today. That he asked me, he
You did?
act like I don't know, like, I have this person that, from the PAC that will provide us with a speaker that has had a texting, like somebody has passed away
I have-
due to a
I have
crash
not-
in reference
I have
to
not met anybody
texting.
like that.
I don't know that, we don't have that. The full contributing factor of texting in a crash.
I mean, as far as collecting the data?
No, as far as getting a family member to speak.
Yeah, I
But
told
we
him.
don't have anyone that is, we've only pulled evidence that they might have been on their phone, but it was never a immediate, it wasn't one of the first contributing factors, you know.
And I haven't met, I told him last week I haven't met anybody through the PAC that fits that,
Right.
you know.
This one might be super specific for you to remember, and it wasn't in the preliminary memo. This is at First and Florida Northwest with the bike fatality. Just trying to get the age of the truck driver.
I know, the gentleman on the bike was an older gentleman. I don't know what, First in Florida, that's not Fort Myers, that's when the bicycle snuck out over
Yeah,
I thought it was a 4 Myers dump truck, right?
I think you're talking about Equity. You're not talking about
So
this.
pickup
I will
truck.
get you that date, like, I remember the bicyclist, I don't remember the driver. In that case too, we all remember, we didn't receive that case until
Yeah.
days, so we never made like, it was, the detective made contact, but it wasn't like that night I was with the driver.
I'll send you a reminder of that one.
Well, thank you. He's saying I won't remember, I know what he's saying.
This was the Safeway parking lot, I believe.
She was an older lady.
So
Was-
what was the contributing? Did you even say?
So she pulled her car in and didn't get it all the way into park, but the car didn't. I guess she must have got it. Like, we're not mechanics to this, and it wasn't taken apart. But she must have got it in park enough that the gears actually stopped it for a moment. She opens her door, gets out of the car, and and she also had the wheels at what we'd call the right angle or a positive angle, because that's positive and that's negative in the tracking world, to where when the car either jumped out of gear or it never got in gear or parked, it then rolled over.
Mhm.
And it was a small incline in the parking lot.
Right.
So it was a slow roll.
Of course.
So she might have got out and then she didn't realize it was.
Operator error and probably like
And
this
isn't-
environmental issues with it, because it was enough angle, right?
No, it was a parking lot. There's no environment. It was just a parking lot. I know we had talked in here about parking lots not having any.
And I took that recommendation.
I don't think we
out.
can go there because this was not a parking lot like this.
Yeah.
This was a very slow level. So
I think the positive angle that you're talking about of the steering.
the positive angle is what I'm talking about is when the wheel is turned.
Right.
So when the wheel's turned one way, it's
Back on
considered in the reconstruction world as negative,
Right.
and that would be to the left. Left is considered negative.
Right.
Right is considered positive. So if she's pulled into a parking lot and the vehicle is turned to the positive direction, that
Then
means that when it
the
rolls,
front wheel.
it rolls
Yeah, yeah.
with the motor coming towards her, or that left tire coming towards her.
Right.
And what happens when the wheel at a positive angle, when it goes backwards, it's coming at a negative angle over. So
Mhm.
the door knocked her down, and then the front driver's side tire rolled
Ah.
over her.
Okay.
And
So
that
what-
was based off of the angle that the
So-
wheels
Yeah.
are.
Should it just say the MPD investigation found that the driver's parking brake was not engaged, and the car was not properly put in a park or something, and these were the contributing factors to the crash?
Or,
Yeah.
well, I'm thinking the driver's parking brake was not engaged, and the vehicle was parked in a way that caused it to roll back. And I don't wanna get into how, the gritty details. I understand, but.
Right. So
know,
if you
yeah.
got them turned when you park, it's going to come back. So if she gets out, it's going to come back and come in
Well,
front of her.
and so I don't know if we can say that though, because if it wasn't a parallel parking spot, there's not a way you're supposed to turn your wheels. There's a way
No,
you're
we're
supposed
not, I'm not
No,
suggesting we
it's not
would
against the law for what
say-
she did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
No,
just
I'm not
the
saying,
contributing factor
I
of
think
what occurred.
phrasing it this way, it's not saying that it was unlawful for her to do what she did,
Mhm.
but this is what caused this is what the contributing factors
So
were.
the door was.
I only
still
say
open.
that to say that what my visual of what it was that if the wheels were straight, that door might have knocked her down, and then the wheel might not have
Caught her.
Run over.
run over her, and the car would have. And the door knocking her down might not have been fatal.
Right.
But
That's true, yeah.
between the door and the front wheel,
Mhm.
it became
Right. A fatal. yeah.
fatal. Now,
So-
and I don't know, the door might have got her, but that was just my thought on the scene.
It would be rolled backwards in her direction.
Yeah.
I mean, it already describes it up above. right?
Yeah.
So it's really just saying what are the two contributing factors. One is lack of brake / some other mechanism, and the second is the wheel position.
Yeah, the park position in the car.
So I think those are the. But they're driver error. They're not like. If we say contributing factor, we're going to say it was the equipment. It's not like the equipment did it.
Well,
It's like we don't know what happened with the parking.
You said you didn't examine the equipment, right?
We
So
don't know if
this-
it didn't stay in park.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying is, I don't know if
We don't know.
the equipment failed or she failed to get it all the way in park.
So,
Is what we
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, so-
Because it was, yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
so I
We could
think
say
it's better to
possible
keep it
equipment failure.
passive.
Okay, so we just
So
say
the brake was not
the
engaged.
vehicle, but it was really driver error in a way.
Well, not if it didn't engage, not if there was some kind of defect. It
Oh,
was an
if it
older
was a
car.
defect. Oh, TB. Oh, I
So,
see. Okay, okay.
We don't know if she made a mistake. She may have made a mistake and not engaged it fully, but it may be that it was an older car. And
It's actually interesting we call this a pedestrian since she was driving when she made the fatal error, so to speak.
Yeah,
Ironically.
but when she got out, she was.
It's
Yeah,
the-
each of these cars.
She's a
are-
pedestrian when she gets out of the car. And I get what you're saying, I agree with you. But she's a
This is-
pedestrian.
Weird
but
case.
It's a very
I think we
weird-
talked about this, this is the everyone is a pedestrian case. I mean,
Right,
so is
yeah.
the man standing behind his car.
Right, getting
Yeah.
stuff out of
That
his
was a
truck.
pedestrian, that was a vehicle pedestrian crash.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
this is one of what we consider special circumstances.
Sure, yeah.
So, I mean, this case, you could also argue that it wasn't even a traffic fatality.
Because it was in a parking lot.
Right, so these are hard, and these are decisions that are made on the scene based off of everything we can put together at the moment when we decide to take.
Yeah.
We only reviewed this case because we were running out of 2017 fatalities that could be reviewed, so.
Can I ask
It is
a
in the crash data.
can I ask a general question since we're not in closed session right now? Are there things we shouldn't be talking about with these crashes, or this is going to be a public report anyway, so it doesn't matter?
It's gonna be public.
Yeah.
We won't talk about anything we're not supposed to talk about.
Yeah. We
what
cut
are,
ourselves
what are those
off.
things?
Private information.
Oh, like someone's name or
Yeah, name and like,
address.
if we review video,
Oh, okay.
that's the kind of stuff that.
Okay.
It's, and I wouldn't put
Personal
in here like
details.
the exact mechanism of her, like, that it ran over.
Right.
But I agree, everything in this report is gonna be public, so.
Yeah.
It should be fine.
Yeah, there's no
Okay.
issue here.
Yeah.
in my
Okay.
opinion.
We just wanna make sure it's
Yeah,
accurate.
it's not an active case.
That's
Plus,
fine.
one of
There
the
is a-
things about this is that there's no secondary part of, person in this. We're not,
Right.
this is all on the single person.
Right. It's a single, single person crash. We have to use single vehicle crash.
There is a legal opinion from the Office of Open Government, so, do you have that?
I don't have it, but I got this from you, Jonathan, just now, but the governing
Okay.
document and the non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
And you guys were gonna go over the closed versus open meetings
Oh, yeah.
for me and Leanne.
Yeah.
Which we kind of described a little, but the meeting itself, every meeting of the task force is an open meeting, meaning that members of the public could attend. And we post on the Office of Open Government's website the schedule of when the meetings are happening, where they're happening. And so anyone could attend this meeting, and then when we do vote to go into the closed session because of the reasons we just described, then members of the public would have to leave, and we invite them back in once we're open again, and then we have to describe why we went into a closed session and generally describe what we discussed during the closed session, and then the meeting's open again. So
Okay.
I think the other piece of information we share about the non-disclosure agreement is that it doesn't protect you from being subpoenaed in like a civil case, correct, Sergeant Thorne? Like
I
even-
don't do.
But you guys told us
I'm a
that, like
criminal
even
police officer.
even after criminal proceedings have occurred, which makes it available for us to
Those
review.
Jeff's words.
If there were a civil case and somebody discovered, oh, in this open crash review meeting, Kristen reviewed this case and I think she knows something about it, she could get subpoenaed to testify. And
Okay.
Yeah, they could bring you in civil, they can bring you in for anything. Wasn't it your opinion when they talked about that? You know, that car jumped out of parking, you know,
Right.
that's how they could use it.
I'm gonna say, I think it's unlikely, because anything we learn in here is gonna be hearsay.
Yeah.
Right, so it's not
You know,
super valuable.
It's more
yeah,
likely that if they knew about this, that they would contact us and like try to get our notes.
Okay.
So take
You
nice.
know, but even that would be hearsay, so it's like,
So right,
or they'd say, hey, who investigated? They might ask us like, who was the investigating detective?
Never tell.
But with
But
civil,
I don't- I'm not very worried about
civil,
that.
anything can happen.
Yeah,
You just
anything
throw
can
enough
happen.
mud on the wall, hope something sticks, and you find one person to disagree with the detective's findings, and you get star witness.
And the answer to that is that we don't, it's not a part of our job to review what the detectives did critically.
Alrighty. I think we've
Yes.
In this meeting.
Take that home.
Doesn't mean we don't ask questions to understand how they got where they got. Sometimes we do that, but we try to do that nicely and not in a critical way.
that. Oh, one more.
Did we talk about this last time?
Yeah,
That
basic.
the box truck,
Box truck.
the passenger
It
was
was a female, right?
Female.
Or was the driver
I-
female?
I wasn't involved. That's that 295 where that
I was
box
on that,
truck. That's that box truck that hit. But we did
I
talk
think
about that.
Did you tape record the meeting last time?
Mm-hmm.
So, there you go. The answer will be up.
We're back at the same position. We don't remember.
I
how
think
we-
the driver
that was
was
the
female
passenger.
and the passenger was male?
One box truck female.
I have a-
So the other,
I think one was a female, one was a
the other
male.
one was a male, so the one that was injured was a male.
All right, so the driver was female
Yeah.
and the
Passenger.
passenger was male.
Was male.
That's what we're going with.
Yes. This was a specialty, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the truck that was stopped in Richmond or
Yeah,
something.
that's right.
Mhm.
Richmond.
In Richmond.
Wait, what
State
happened?
troopers. They got into a flat, it was a flat truck, one of those delivery trucks that the motor's behind you, and they ran into the back of
It was on 295, and it was still heavy traffic for morning rush hour. And what it appears is that a flatbed truck was stopped, like a low boy for hauling equipment. And they were driving a box-style delivery truck. I want to say it was a Mitsubishi, or it was usually one of the foreign ones where when you're sitting in it, there's no
It's like glass.
There's no nose.
There's no nose, it's just,
Yeah.
you're sitting
Yeah.
out
It's
the
a rear
window.
motor.
Mm.
Yeah.
So they came up upon stop traffic, and the tractor trailer truck was stopped
Mm.
with an empty bed. And she hit the brakes, and she turned to avoid the rear end of the tractor trailer truck, but she caught it at an angle which injured the passenger.
Mm.
And he degraded as the day went on, or not
His
as the day,
condition.
but probably within 2 hours we were called. So he goes to the hospital, the officers are doing the report, and they go to check on him at the hospital, and says, he's going downhill bad.
Hmm.
Now, the truck had already been released from the scene, because initially they didn't believe it was gonna be a fatality, or result in the injury that it did. So the truck was released from the scene, the truck had he was stopping traffic, he wasn't at fault in any way. We get there, and we take the crash over, probably 2.5, 3 hours into it, and had to look at it that way. And I think the only probably contributing factor was, she was unable to stop, so she was probably going a little too fast for the conditions, following too closely.
Uh-huh, okay.
And we were able to locate the tractor trailer and the truck and the driver somewhere around Richmond.
Oh, okay, and brought him back, okay.
No, they just had the trooper take pictures of it.
Oh, okay.
Again, the tractor trailer was stopped there. We're talking about the tractor trailer he ran into.
Oh, okay.
So the passenger was buckled and had internal issues over it. So
Okay.
based off of the G-forces of the strike,
Okay.
and the body was unable to handle, and it had internal issues.
And did the passenger die in the
Passenger
end?
did not pass away.
Oh, okay,
It
okay.
ended up being what we took as a special.
Okay, okay.
So some of these, we have the fatals, and then we have specials that we take when we're not sure if a person's going
Right.
to pass away based off of it. And we
Yeah.
hope they all don't, but
Yeah,
this one recovers, so.
yeah. Okay,
That's the last thing that we needed.
okay. In a short meeting. Anything else we need to do?
Tell me the dates and locations of those crashes so I can prep for the next one.
11618, D182. What was this address on this one?
Whatever you just like what you would, only the information you would put into a press release. If you have. That's it.
I mean,
This is 728, what is it, Bonnie's Road, Southwest,
Panini Road.
Panini, Bonnini.
I mean, I can send you details too, because I'll
Okay.
find them with the
That would be what we
That'd be
put
great.
in.
case number.
And 1827, which is 12th Street and Constitution Avenue. And that's a bicycle
Is that
being
the-
struck by a car.
Profile case.
That
What
was
the date
that
of
one.
You said D1827.
Yeah, it's 9/24/18.
Is that Bonini Road Southeast?
Southwest, I think.
Because I thought that was in South.
Southeast.
Because we were just talking about that the other day. Yeah.
It's a short street, it's only about as long as
What-
the room.
Sorry, what date was that crash?
11618.
That's on
1/6/18.
1/6/18.
That's the date of the death.
That is
Crash
the
actually
date of the
occurred
death.
on the 27th.
It's the 12th.
That
It's
is the one we were talking about the other
12/24.
day.
12/24/27. 17.
Okay.
That's the person. He's still in GW hospital.
Okay.
He's still in ICU.
But the two cases were 18-2
No,
and
that's not that.
1827, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Just that now, that way I can start working out the public information on the crash.
Well,
All right.
Anything else
Look.
you want to talk about?
yeah,
That's
we
the
just
time we're giving you
we
back,
just need
hour
to
and a
get
half back.
a quorum one more time, so we can then we'll always have a quorum probably with
Yeah.
Well, I
DDOT
think, didn't we
people.
approve the report last time? I mean, we're making technical, factual changes to it. I don't know that we need to reapprove it.
Can we vote on it electronically?
I think we can do that too. That was my plan. That once we've circulated it and the whoever at agency leadership wants to peruse it, but we could. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason we can't vote to approve it before next month's meeting.
Yeah, you usually can't, under open meetings, you can't vote by email.
Mm.
But, I mean, you could run that past the open government people
Yeah,
or your lawyers,
yes.
because I don't go by me. But what I was thinking is, I don't think there's any reason it can't go to the agency directors now, because I think
Yeah.
we, we may not have voted last time, but we were all comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with it going to Andrew.
And we didn't make any the kind of changes that I think would require a reconsideration. That's my 2 cents.
Just like 4 cents.
Just practically speaking, should we be adding someone from, say, the BAC so that there's 2 potential people to
There's
come?
a
Ask them
designee
about-
that she just hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so there's somebody
They
else
have,
who
but
could.
they haven't.
They just haven't come, okay. All right.
'Cause
I'm sure what.
Although we might ask them, because the PAC has good attendance and alternates.
Mhm.
So
But
even,
my alternate has trouble with this location.
okay,
Mhm.
if David isn't coming
And
from the back
He
anymore,
works in the
and if Rachel's replacing
I'm
David,
sure Rachel
we
will
could
probably
ask.
want to take over that.
Yeah, but we could ask them to pick an alternate as well, so there's at least 2.
What was in my brain? Something was on my brain right now.
I mean, I hate to say it, but we could also consider a different location if that meant we'd get a better quorum.
Well, I usually, as long as I can come, it's not an issue.
Okay, and what
There's-
about
And I usually
Mac?
know, I'll know a month ahead of time, so it might be a month when I ask you guys to move back to Judiciary Square, so I mean, can do it.
And what about Mac? Are they usually pretty?
Helen has been to several meetings,
Yeah.
but sometimes we have communication glitches.
Yeah, she seems to have a computer that does not work very well, so
Uh-huh.
she relies on her cell phone, and I think she sometimes misses emails. And I was gonna say, I was just looking at my email, I don't have an email reminder from you, is that because you didn't include me, because you knew I was on the phone?
Like, I sent one today.
Yeah, I
But it
don't have
was
anything
like
from you
one.
today.
You got it.
Huh.
Did you leave me out?
I mean, you should be on the, I replied
exactly
to
what I'm
the
pulling up right
calendar
now.
invite, which you should be on, so that's weird.
I wasn't
Okay.
on there, though.
We'll work on
No
our
one's on it.
logisticals to make
Yeah,
it
you left
easier
me
and
off.
maybe we'll have donuts next time.
Yeah,
Good thing you didn't need a
That
reminder.
means
Or
you're
we should
not
have
on
something
the
healthy,
calendar.
right?
so just
Weird.
make sure you add me back. Cause I won't forget the next meeting, but
Yeah.
I might.
You could also, if it helps, especially I know, like my email, my personal email is like so non-functional. I got so many emails now. We could try and do a text message reminder if that's helpful.
I actually use the DC Gov email.
You use DC Gov email?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
better. So that's working fine for you?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
All right.
it gets very
Well,
limited. No, it's fine, it should be.
We'll
fine.
chase down these other groups. And then what about DMV?
Bridget's usually
She's
here.
usually here.
Yeah.
Oh,
she,
okay.
she
I
told
don't
me
think
she
she's ever
couldn't.
missed.
Yeah, she told me she couldn't come today. 'cause her-
Okay. All right.
And she can't be part of the quorum until we vote to put her on.
Oh, she's.
Didn't we decide that needed legislation?
Yeah.
Our,
Yeah.
We
our
did.
lawyers
Yeah,
told
they're
us
not
we
on
couldn't
that.
make them.
A member.
voting
Okay,
members.
well, fine. So we'll just next meeting. Let's make sure we get 2 out of 3 of the ACs.
Yep.
And,
We'll be back running.
Yep.
So I'm just curious, I asked Linda this the other day, but is anybody here going to the speed summit down in Charlottesville? Like mid-month?
I'm registered. I'm probably gonna go.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go too.
And when is it?
It's the 15th and 16th, it's free. And they're running, you have to take a train down and stay overnight, or drive down and stay overnight. But do you want me to send you the info?
The 15th and 16th of April?
Mm-hmm.
You can send it in.
Yeah.
So there's like a dinner type thing the Monday night, and then the stuff starts at like 8 a.m. on Tuesday.
Yeah. And they're running a bus from the
I think
hotel.
I have other plans in those
I'll send it to you. I mean, it
days. That's
might
fine,
be,
I
you know.
appreciate
It is
and then-
Emancipation Day.
it. It is.
And
It's one
is
of my favorite
any-
holidays.
And is anybody going to the Safe Systems Summit?
It's almost like green beer.
Down in Charlotte, no, Durham?
Yeah.
No, I don't
yeah.
think we can go to North Carolina
That's
still.
right, you can't go to North
Yeah.
Carolina. Okay. I'm not either.
HB
I thought
13.
to North Carolina.
No. It looked really good.
Well, when was that?
The Safe Systems Summit. Run by like Duke and I don't know who else. And Division Zero.
Wow.
It looked good, and it's cheap, it's $35, but I have to be here for this meeting and I got other things to do. I kind of mess everything up. So I decided on the speed thing, but I was just curious if anybody was going.
Okay.
Well, thank you all.
Let's adjourn.
Thank you.
Unofficially.
It's like the worst timing for me to walk back to the office and sit up